Everything went as per plan for the Indians as they are now shy of another dominating victory at home. Mayank Agarwal was the star of the day as he smashed 243 runs. India already lead by 343 runs and the match is likely to get over on the third day as predicted. In fact, the Indian team is conducting a press conference as we speak. Let's cut across to that.
So I must respect the game. I must respect that I am batting well, and when I am doing that, I need to make sure I make it big and put the team in such a position, put the team in a driver's seat, or put the team in such a position that we cannot lose from there. So I think that becomes the key, knowing that you are batting well and you've got 100. You got to make sure now it's on you to take the team through.
For you, because we see you score so many runs and all these runs are big hundreds, and shot selection for like almost 4 hours, 5 hours is very difficult. So how do you pick that? How do you sort of control that, or sort of pick the right shots, the right bowlers to sort of attack and get those runs really quickly, balance?
So I think it goes down to game plan. Who you're feeling comfortable against, who you want to attack, and then picking the right ball. Like I said again, you still got to respect the game. You got to still respect the situation. That you can't just go and say, okay, now I'm going to hit every ball, and go and do that. It's not going to happen that way. So it's the key by understanding the situation, understanding okay, this is the bowler that I am playing well today, and this is the ball that I can go after, and you pick those balls, and then have the mental discipline to wait for those balls, and then build your innings like that.
You obviously had one MBW overturn today and start of the game. Because you reacted quite animatedly when the decision was overturned and you had a long stab at the line. Could you just tell me a little bit about what you guys spoke about, what that emotion was?
Initially, when I got hit on the pad, I thought I wasn't out, but then when I was given out, I had a quick flashback to, because I got out the same way to Roston Chase in West Indies. So I said, no, I can't make that mistake again. So I was just glad.
Alright, so that was the start of the day. Mayank Agarwal addressing the media, saying that he did set up a platform for the team to flourish, and this is something that he has been doing very consistently and with a lot of prowess. Ninad, what did you make of his innings? 200 plus score, putting India in that driver's seat. The match could well be over within 3 days. And of course, Mayank Agarwal has replicated his form, his style, his technique and his finesse. Once again, we got to see that against South Africa as well.
See, I thought it was a masterclass. 243 runs scored at a 73 strike rate, 100 scored with a 6, a double 100 scored with a 6. It was total domination, brilliant, fearless footwork, 8 sixes, fearless footwork backed by rock solid technique where, he can. This is the interesting thing about Mayank Agarwal, which I thought was that if you bowl a good length ball, fine. A little short, he can rock back. A little overpitched, he just comes down the wicket and hits you. So the margin of error almost does not exist. And we should not forget that after Steve Smith this year, Mayank Agarwal is now only 85 runs short. This has been a dominating batsman. A star is born. Let me just put it in 3 words. A star is born. We are looking at somebody who, mind you, made 270 plus scores in Australia.
Absolutely.
So we are looking at a guy who has technique, temperament, and hunger. Absolutely. I mean, when these come together, you're looking at something else.
Let's also get a feedback and a take from Mr. Rajkumar Sharma on how Mayank Agarwal played. In fact, we'll also talk about that duck by Virat Kohli. But first, your observation and comments about Mayank Agarwal. He's slowly risen up the ranks. Somebody who's been a regular in Test cricket, but there is also going to be opportunity for him to do well and present his case in the shorter formats of the game as well, based on the kind of talent and technique we have gotten to see in the longest format.
I think Vineet, you rightly said that he has got a tremendous technique, and he looks to be a player who is going to serve India for a pretty long time because he has got the temperament, he has got the technique. to open, you know. And the way, if you remember, when he was flown to Melbourne for his first test, and the way he batted against Nathan Lyon, who was creating a lot of problems to Indian batsmen, and fearlessly he hit him for a couple of sixes, and he stepped out and drove him for a couple of boundaries. So that showed that he has that character, he has got the technique, and he plays fearless cricket. So India always wanted an opener like him who has got a good technique. And I think this lad has that, and he has got the temperament as well. And he's going to serve the country for a pretty long time.
Mr. Sharma, in fact, before we move on, Virat Kohli not very lucky today.
Yeah, unfortunate. Doesn't happen many times in his career, but in fact, when umpire gave him not out, so I also felt that God has saved him. But they took the DRS, and they were right in taking the DRS. And I think it can happen with anybody. Like if you get out initially before scoring 15-20 runs, you can't blame the batsman. But once he is set, then he plays long inning. But it is all, it happens, it is a round circle, and sometimes the failure has to come.
Absolutely. Mr. Bedi, what did you make of India's innings today? And we are
Totally
obviously in a
dominating.
very comfortable spot.
very nice.
I mean, what
I
is
think
even the meaning of having a Bangladesh in such a depleted form?
No, this is every team is like this. South Africa, we said, what is the meaning? That South Africans, we treated them. When we went to West Indies, we did them to the. See, I see cricket is shrinking. Whatever you may say, it is only 3 or 4 teams left. As far as this larger format is concerned, if you want to keep it, only India, Australia, England, and to some extent Pakistan. Otherwise, other teams
And New Zealand also.
New Zealand. Oh, now you can add and South Africa. No, but otherwise this is teams are shrinking. And my friend Ninal said, a player is born. So every day something is born. No. Star is born. Deepak Chahar was born last week or last to last week.
Yeah.
So every day. See, let's not get excited.
No, I am
You
excited.
are
Mayank
excited.
Agarwal, I am excited.
No,
It's a
you
very
should-
different ball game.
I'm not criticizing you. I said
Let him
me
finish
that.
his point, then you
So,
can
you have a
respond.
point, but then every day you are producing and star is born, because there is remember one thing, India, there is nothing else but cricket. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
That's all
10
right. It's the
cricket.
most civilized game. That's fine.
No. Every other country, I'm not criticizing. Just as a sports journalist, whatever I have for last 30, 40 years, what I have done is cricket or sports. So every other country producing other champions also. So if some champion fail there, they have a champion there.
Correct.
The other team, we have nothing. So fall back on these heroes only.
All right.
See, if the Australian cricketers are failing, then we'll say Australia has a hockey team, which is a world champion. They are a swimmers. The Germans fail, they have a World Cup football team. England fails, they have athletes. They are cyclists. We have nothing. We have only cricketers. So there is much natural that we star will be born every week. So let us hold on to the star, because as far as Virat Kohli is concerned, his sustainability you must see. Remember, what is surprising at the moment is people are surprised that in this series he has scored only 1 century, that is double century. Because he has set up the benchmark so high that he is falling in his own trap. Because every time Virat goes there, people want, it is the same thing which happened with Sachin Tendulkar. His standard is so high that people are not willing to accept, even he scores 50 or 60 runs every match. People say, no, century can't. This is the problem of your own standards being so high. So
Absolutely.
today when you are surprised at 0, you should not be surprised. Because I agree with Sharma ji that every player goes through his phase. But he has to raise his standard. Virat is one-man show, one-man army.
Right.
So if he strikes, people say, look here, he's come back. His 200 was talked about.
Well, in fact, we have paucity of time. We have aberrated from the topic at hand, but nevertheless, a very compelling point has been made by Mr. Bedi. But the fact of the matter is that Pujara as well as Rahane also did a good job today.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that, it was a Have you had, there's something called the Dhaka Pulao. It's a very tasty Bangladeshi dish. I think the Bangladeshis laid out buffet today, which the Indians really enjoyed. I think the Bangladeshi bowlers had 3 problems. Today was India's day, and the 3 problems was that if they bowled short,
But Abu Jayad did well today.
yeah, all right, but if you bowl short, you get hit. If you bowl good length, you get hit, and if you bowl, over pitch, you get hit.
Okay.
I mean, you would just get hit.
All right.
So this was it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.